There was a question on Facebook about resizing a portion of a block to fill the whole block without having to redraw it. So I played with it, and I'm going to show you the way that I got it to work every time. I tried some other ways too, and it was hit or miss with those. So I'm going to actually use that block. So I'm going to go up to Libraries, Block Library, and there was a bow in the block. I didn't know what the name of it was, so I did search by note card, and I typed in bow, and I've had check marks and everything else, and I went to more than 50 items. I put in 500 because I don't think I've ever had 500 come up. And then I searched, and I found 183 things with bow in the name. And so I scrolled over, and here's the block that she was using. So I'm going to click on that and say edit to sketchbook. No, I don't want to. So this is the block. It is a mixture of applique and easy draw. So all she wanted was just the bow down here at the bottom. So if we go over to the applique tab, and I'm just going to do Control A on my keyboard, so it selected all the applique, and I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go back to the Easy Draw tab, and this is something you might not think of when you're wanting to resize something. I do not want any of these outlines around the block right here because Easy Draw doesn't like lines on top of other lines. It will usually error out. So I'm going to just use the pick tool, and I'm going to draw boxes around what I want to delete. So let me just zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to just draw, and when you're doing a bounding box, it selects everything that's completely inside the box. Anything that is not completely outside will not be selected, so I'm using that to my advantage. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to delete all of that. And then I need to delete the one up here as well. So I'm going to draw another box around it and delete. So now I don't have an outline around here. I'm going to leave the block at 12 inches. She wanted it to be 6 inches, but I'm going to leave it at 12 until I'm finished. And I found that I had to double the snaps because the snaps were not lining up exactly. So I went to 96 both directions. Okay, so now I just need to select all of this, and I can draw a bounding box around it, or I can just do Control A on my keyboard. So now the whole bow is selected. It was a quarter of the block, so if I increase it to 200%, it will be twice as big. So I'm going to go to resize, and I've already typed this in because when I was playing, but you can just type in 200% here, 200% here, and say OK. And then I need to grab those little crosshairs in the middle, and I need to drag it up, and I want it to snap into place. And I think it has. So far this has worked for me every time. We'll see. It will probably fail when I say that. So to test it, I'm going to click on the Color tab, and yay, it's all there. I just need to recolor it, and I'm not going to recolor it. But she wanted a 6-inch block, remember, so I'm going to go back to the Draw tab, and I'm just going to change it to 6 and 6. At this point, it really doesn't matter. If you want to change your snaps, you can, but I have my block, and then I can just say Edit to Sketchbook, and I haven't saved this, so cancel. And now it's in my sketchbook. It is a 6-inch block. I have another one here that didn't have any color on it, so both of them. So that's how I got it. A quarter of the block into a 6-inch block without having to redraw the whole thing.